Okay, we're just gonna do it with the 5 of us. And we'll do it on Elite, so you get maximum favor. Can't do it on Reaper because we're over level. This is only a base level 10 raid, so 12 on Elite. And it's different favor than the Legendary. This will be very easy because, you know, we're way over level. It's just going to be a walkthrough tutorial. Get a few buffs, and then we'll go. We're going to start doing a quick walk around the volcano. So if you look up, you'll see there's a big mountain. And the caldera is the area around the volcano. And there's a lot of lava. And the reason why I want to do a loop around it is because in the end fight, you can get blown off by the giant. And if you end up getting blown all the way down, a lot of people, when they're new to this, they tend to get lost. So I want to do a quick run around so to help you get your bearings around here, so that you don't get lost in a future run if you get, you know, tossed off the top of the mountain. Now you can prevent getting tossed off the mountain by wearing stone shoes. Legendary or heroic, doesn't matter. They have the sink like a brick ability. That'll make it so you can't get tossed off. You can also, while you're getting tossed off, type /stuck. And if you do it quickly, you can usually get back, as long as you had feather fall, and therefore you're falling slowly, you can get back to the top before you hit the ground. But if you didn't have feather fall on, or you moved, or you didn't, you know, do /stuck right away, and you get attacked by stuff at the ground, you know, you might have to run back up. So I want you guys to have your bearings. So let's go, and we're going to do a loop around the entire mountain. And we can kill stuff on the way. These are just heroic mobs, so they'll be very easy for us. Everybody here is high level. Everybody here is legendary. Now, if you're on Twitch, I will be answering viewer questions about the raid when I can. My attention is going to be mainly focused on the people attending in person, but I will be answering viewer questions when I can. So if you have questions about this raid, please type them into Twitch chat. All right, so if we were doing the raid normally, we would just come along here, and we would go right into this entrance here. But we're not going to do that because we'll come back to this. But we're going to do a walk around of the entire caldera. Now, there is an optional to purge the mountaintop of foes. You can see it says 21 left. Now it says 20 left. That's just killing mobs out here. I've never seen a group bother with that. So you're probably never, if you join a pug of this, they're probably not going to do that. It's just really not worth the time, in my opinion. Oh, also, you know, I know a hand like Feet and Onadir, you've attended plenty of teaching raids, so you know how this works. But, you know, I just want to remind you that if you have questions at any point, please ask. There's at least one shrine out here in the caldera, and it is straight ahead. Actually, there's at least 2 shrines. Okay, we're just going to loop back a little bit. I never come out here. Oops, looks like we need to go back a little bit further. But I like to do the run around on the teaching raid, so, you know, any veteran of this raid probably remembers a time when they got blown off the mountain and got lost down here. So that's why I like to do the walk around. Surly Cucumber, good morning and welcome. Yeah, the aura is just going to kill anything that I get near. So we're coming up here because I wanted to show you this is an alternate entrance. In fact, when we show you the shortcut method, when we're doing legendary, we're actually going to be falling down from above. If you look up, you'll see the kind of a cliff edge up there. We're going to be falling down from up there down to here. So I just wanted to point this out, that you can get to this entrance from outside as well. All right, let's continue around the mountain, and we're going to circle all the way back around to the start. Zero Smash has been lost out here multiple times. Yeah, I remember getting lost out here. In fact, even when I get tossed out here, you know, I get turned around because I just never come out here, you know? But it's just important to know that it's a loop. Okay, and I'll bring the map up so you can see we're almost back. We just jump off to the, let's see, to the west here. Just follow me. Okay, and we're almost back to the start. There's a little giant encampment here. We'll go back up the hill here. And now we're back at the start where the fire elementals were. We're just going to rally back at the start. Sire Madi, good morning and welcome. It's been a minute. Welcome back to the show. Good to see you. Hershey Crisp, good morning and welcome. So I am standing right at the start where we first entered. Just to help you get your bearings, we're going to rally here. Hand like feet just go south from where you're at. And on a deer, just head west now, back to the start. As I'm sure you can see, pretty easy to get lost out there. Especially if you get tossed off the mountain and you lose your bearings because you just get tossed quickly and you're not sure, you know, like where exactly you land. I'm sure you can imagine people really struggle. Also, when the quest, I believe when the raid's completed, there's a detour that appears here at the start that will take you right back up to the top of the mountain. All right, let's go. So this is now the pathing, the normal pathing that we would take. And we showed you there's two different paths to that first entrance. We just showed you the low road that takes you through two pools of lava. Now we're going to show you the high road. If you wanted to avoid more of the lava, you would want to come up here. Don't miss the switchback. And by going this way, you're just going to avoid one of those pools of lava. The lava was a little bit scarier back in the day, you know. But hey, maybe you're doing this heroic at level or something, or whatever. Gears Grinding, good morning and welcome. Oh, there's a few Gears Grinding says there's a few detours that open up around the map. I didn't know that. At the end. and go right into this entrance. Okay, looks like we got, okay, Anadir's coming. Just go right in. Oh, thanks, Bertle. Be a bunch of drow. There's gonna be fire giants. Some renders. A beholder. There's a trap box here to get rid of these spinny blade traps. I believe these do stop functioning after a minute. Trap box is right here on the right. By the way, the cosmetic I'm wearing is the new Echoes of the Black Rose Patron's Coffer. It's available just through March 30th, so tomorrow's the last day it's available. Details on ddo.com. If you're interested, it comes with a bunch of cosmetics, a special mount and pet, and some extra storage space. Weapon aura. This is the intelligence rune. I think only 18 on Heroic Elite, 50 on Legendary Elite. This gate is a soft lockout, so if you can't beat down this Iron Golem by yourself, don't run in here and start it. Wait till others get here, but if you're good with killing them on your own, then no big deal. On Heroic, obviously no big deal, because we're way over level. Couple of renders here. And then you're going to just move through the portal. You don't have to click on these portals, you just walk into them. And this is the lair of fire and ice. Here's where the party's going to split, because there's a simultaneous kill mechanic. Okay? And I will demonstrate how to solo it. Let's see. We'll demonstrate how to solo it in Legendary, but here we're going to go ahead and split. So, Bolo, Grub, and Soul go down to fire. Hand Like Feet and Anadir follow me up to ice. So we're going to go into a simple maze, and you just need to go into the center. It's basically just a circle inscribed by a cross or a plus sign. And you're going to go into the center, and then there's going to be a bunch of mobs like Mephits, and then there's going to be up here an Ice Flenser, down there a Fire Reaver. They need to die within about a 30-second window or so, and Ice just died. And then that will open up a barrier so that we can get the first rune. Now, I want to show you, if you come back here, people get hella lost here. So we're going to do a quick run around here. So this is the center of this little mini maze, and we're just going to do a walk around, okay? Because I'm telling you, even though it's super simple, it's basically just a circle with a plus sign going through it in the middle. People get lost in here for the rest of their DDO lives. But if you look left at each intersection, you'll see that's the center room. We're just making a circle around it. And fire's the same way. There's the center room. Okay, here we're going to actually make a right. There's the center room in there. There's a shrine here if you needed it. And now we're going to go back down to the chests. I'm going to take them down to fire just so they can see it. So sit tight, guys. Fire is basically the same thing. It's just you're going to make a circle around the center room. So this is the center room here. One little sort of quirk about this raid is the Fire Reaver, which would have been out in the center, but he's already dead. if you shoot him with ranged attacks before you cross that bridge, the pathing is messed up. He doesn't want to come at you across this bridge. It's like he doesn't even see the bridge, and he will actually run out the left side. Okay, then it's going to take longer for you to chase after him. So if you're coming in here on ranged, you know, unless you can kill him really easily, I wouldn't recommend that you shoot him until you get across the bridge. Otherwise, like I said, he's just going to run out the side instead of running after you, because he doesn't, I guess he doesn't see the bridge. And just like we did in ice, we're going to do a quick loop around so that you can see this is just another spot that people get crazy lost in, even though it's a very, very simple area. We're just going to make a loop around that center room. If you look to the left, you'll see that center room. In the next intersection, if you look to the left, you'll see that center room. So when we do our teaching raids, we don't just teach people how the raid's supposed to go. We want to teach people like what to do when things go wrong. Like if you get lost in Tempest Spine, you know, for example. Knowing that this is just a loop, we want to teach these things too. So that folks who join our teaching raids, there's the center room again. So folks who join our teaching raids, you know, don't come in here and get lost. I want them to know how the whole raid works, not just the important pieces. Okay, we're going to make a right here and go back up to Sol and Bolo. So the simultaneous killing of Fire and Ice, and again, there's about a 30-second window to kill them, brings down the barrier that was right here. You can help yourself to 2 chests. This is the first of 3 runes. This rune is necessary to complete the raid. D12 on the Maelstrom. You must get this rune. There's 2 more runes that we're going to get later. They are optional. Each of the runes will like make the boss, you know, basically the boss has protections, and using these runes in the end fight will strip his protections. The Alapar rune that we're picking up right here will strip his regeneration ability. So somebody has to pick this up, but you shouldn't pick up the Alapar rune unless you're designated to be that person. Also, just in case you lose track of it, like it's really easy for somebody to grab that by mistake, and then some newbie doesn't even know it's in their inventory, it will respawn after about a minute or so. There'll be another one here. So if you ever lost it, you know, or maybe somebody died and they don't know where they dropped it, you could always just come back to where the rune spawns and there'll be another one. All right, hand like feet, here's your Maelstrom. Okay, we're going to go right out the way we came. Yeah, no problem. Once you go through the portal, you're going to make a right. Then you're going to drop down a hole. And then we're going to go out of the mountain. Be careful, we're going to be on a thin walkway, and it's easy to fall off. If we were doing the shortcut method, we would just jump off. We are not doing that. Do not jump off. But remember when I said I showed you that secondary entrance to the mountain, and I said we were going to feather fall down? We are right above that entrance right now. But we're going to do the full run for heroic. We'll do the shortcut for legendary. So just follow this mountain path up. Be careful not to fall. And there's going to be yet another entrance up here. And just go through that. Okay, here we're going to go to the right. There are some breakables to the left, though, if you wanted to get them. If we were going to go down to the left, that would just take us back to where we were earlier. In fact, just so that you have your bearings, let's just go ahead and go this way. Right here at this intersection, we were already here earlier. But when we got here, we made a left and we went up, and this is where the intelligence rune was. And then we went to the lair of fire and ice, which is right over there. So I guess when we got out of fire and ice, we could have just gone this way instead. But I'm so used to going the other way. Okay, there's going to be some fire elementals and mephits here. Move past the lava room. There's going to be some fire jets up here that's shooting out of these cauldrons. If I think there's a trap box on the left.
Trap box is on the right up here.
On the right, okay, thank you. There's the trap box on the wall. And I believe fire elementals will come up from behind if you disable the trap.
Yeah. Disabling the trap does turn off the fire jets, but it does spawn fire elementals.
Turns off the fire jets, but spawns fire elementals. Keep making your way up. Okay, in this next room, there can be a whole bunch of rare mobs. Well, there's next 2 rooms that are connected. So we got one of the rares on the left. So we're gonna. That chest is actually a named chest. Let's go ahead and just kill everything before we loot. Okay, and then there's another chest over here. Because there was another name. There can be even another name down below. There's a trap box here. This rune on the left exists for the sole purpose of tricking you into a trap. Because when you hit it, there's spikes that come up from the floor. The rune doesn't do anything else other than trick you. Okay, let's go back up and get our chests. There's the trap box here. To the right, there's going to be a chest behind the stalagmite or column. I think this can drop the cloak of invisibility, but I can't remember for sure. Oh, yep, somebody got it. Cool. And then we can get our other chest between the shrines. And then we're gonna, later on, we're gonna go through this door by the shrines, but right now we're gonna go down the stairs so that we can go to another zone that has another rune. Yes, that's a great way to grief people, is throw grease on those mountain path, those narrow mountain ledges. We can go up these natural steps here, and there's gonna be another chest. If you want it. Guarded by a clay golem. It's behind the column. Hey, clay golem rhymes with column.
Named items don't drop in this one.
What'd you say, buddy?
Yes, it's just a junk chest. No named items will drop in this one.
Oh, okay, cool. Thanks for saying. Crazy Whist, good morning and welcome. All right, this next part is crazy confusing for new players. They get hella lost in here. So follow carefully. It's going to be a little bit of an underwater segment. It's actually really simple. It's basically just a T-shaped passage, but people tend to get very, very disoriented when they're new to this. So at this first intersection, this is like the cross of the T. Okay, you can go left or right or back where we came. We're going to go to the right just to get an extra chest. We're going to swim up through a hole in the ceiling and turn left and swim up through another hole. And this is just a bonus chest. Again, I think this is also just a junk chest.
Correct, just a junk chest.
Okay, now we're just going to go back the way we came, down into the water, and then down through another hole. And then we come to the intersection. Thank you to whoever put the Big B's hand pointing the correct direction. So if we were to go left at this intersection, that's where we first came into the water. But we're going to go straight across the intersection. Up through a hole in the ceiling. And then we get out of... Oh, this is just an air bubble. Then we're going to get out of the water in the next room. There's a hole in the ceiling. All this is optional. You don't have to get the other runes. but we're just showing you the full run. Here's a big open room with some drow, Scaro. There's going to be a holder down the right hallway. On the left is going to be another junk chest behind the stalagmite. And across from the chest hall is a beholder, which somebody already killed. Awesome. And then there's shrines. And oh, note that the map when you're inside the mountain is not functional. So that's another thing that makes this raid hella confusing, is that there's no map for the inner part of the mountain. Somebody cobbled together a map, though, on the wiki article. So, you know, that can be helpful to look at that, and that can help you get your bearings.
That does not mean right, mainly the mate with yeah, it's right there.
Afa! Good morning and welcome. We are doing Heroic and Legendary Tempest Spine Teaching Raid. Anybody want the Star of Earring? Otherwise, I'm just leaving it in the chest. Okay. Notice that here's the new Lar rune. It's not required to get this rune, but we're showing you the whole run. This is where it comes from. Just like the other rune, it will respawn after a minute or whatever, in case you lose track of it. And now we're going to go through this portal. Hell yeah, yeah, we're going to keep doing teaching raids throughout the winter and spring, so about mid to late June is when we're going to wrap it up, doing different raid or set of raids every Saturday until we work through every raid in the game. Once we go up the steps, we're going to make a left. We've been here before. This is where we first entered the water down below. We're going to... Well, there was a portal and then the water. So we're going to go through this door now next to the shrine. Traps. Oh, I wanted to let him trigger the traps. What is it, acid jets or something here?
Either acid or poison, I forget.
Trap boxes here. One on the left and right. This lever opens that gate. If you want to step outside to get your bearings, you can. Remember where... Yeah, this is just like a ledge. I don't know if there's any value in coming out here, but... We're going to go the other way. And we're going to go on to the Bridge to the Inevitable section. Locked door. There's no key, so you're going to need a lock picker, or a knocker, or a melt locker, or a head basher. Yes, so we're doing both Heroic and Legendary, so we're using the Heroic instance, which we're in now as the teaching moment, and then we'll go immediately into Legendary, and we're doing the full run in Heroic, and then when we go to Legendary, we're going to show the shortcut. Okay, just to help you get, we want to go to the left, but go to the right first because I want you to get your bearings. So this right up here is the entrance we're going to come in through when we do the shortcut. This is a strength lever here. If you go outside, we were actually out here before. This is the part where I said we would feather fall down to. We first came here when, you know, we were doing the walk around on the bottom, and I brought you up here. And I said we'd be here later. So just showing you that that's that entrance. Now we're going to go back down and straight across the next intersection. This is the intelligence rune. It's just 18 on heroic elite. Or excuse me, strength lever. It's just 20, I think it said, on heroic elite, but 75 on legendary elite. So if you're doing this on legendary, you want to make sure you have enough strength. If you don't have a strength build with you, you might not have anybody in your party with 75 strength. Lots of rust monster spawns here. There is a shrine off to the side, and what's a lot of fun is if your buddy tries to use this shrine, you can actually pull this lever and lock him in there, and then point and laugh at them. They can't get out. And then after you taunt your buddy, you can just pull the lever again and let them out. Okay, we're going to keep going. At the next intersection is another strength lever, which is also 75. That goes to the end fight. We are going to continue to the bridge to the inevitable, which is where we're going to get the third and final rune. We'll be skipping the second and third rune. We'll do the shortcut for legendary. Again, we just wanted to show you the whole run for heroic. Again, the 3 runes, they strip protections off of the giant, but only the first rune, the Alapar rune, is necessary. This part's a little tricky. You got a poison and an acid jet on each side. There are trap boxes to disable them. If you don't have a trapper, it'd be a little tricky to pull those. Sometimes you can use like a druid wolf to pull them, or like an arty dog, or you can step up on the the pedestals on the sides or something and try to pull them. Just keep going across the bridge. Those Blackbone Marksmans, when we get to legendary, hit pretty damn hard. Yeah, that's what Soul Mine just said. Yeah, they hit pretty hard. They can one-shot some squishy folks. Right here is a soft lockout, so don't advance too far, unless you can handle it or you get enough people beyond the lockout. But the gate will go back up once you clear this. This is kind of an ambush area here. There's going to be 4 doors that open, and a bunch of mobs are going to come pouring out. This part can be overwhelming if you're doing this short-handed, at level, for example. Especially on legendary. Nothing to the left. Another shrine. Drop down through the hole. We're coming up to a big room that will have the final rune, and then we'll head to the end fight after that. Anybody has any questions about any part of this raid before we do the end fight, let me know, because we'll be at the end fight in just a minute or so. Here's just going to be a big room full of giants and an inevitable. The inevitable is like the Marut from Von 3. It's a construct. On the far side is a junk chest. I think this is a junk chest. I'm not sure.
No, named items can drop from here.
Oh, okay.
The goggles of perception, I think they're called. They're a pretty nice low-level trapper item.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you. Oh, somebody got them. Cool. Attack bonus 2, spot 10, search 10, colorless slot. Nice, grats. There's a resurrection shrine in this one cubby, and then the next cubby over is the final rune, the Talon rune. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that. And then across from us is just a little cubby with nothing in it. Okay, we're going to go back out the way we came, and we're going to go to the end fight next. Any questions about any part of this raid before we knock out the end fight? The end fight will be super quick because this is just a level 12 boss. As we come up, there's going to be a portal. Click through, or just go through that. There's going to be a shrine. Or no, wait a minute. I guess we already passed it. But there's a shrine down here in the rust monster room. If you needed it, that was the one where I showed you you could lock your buddies into. So if you needed to use a shrine before the end fight, that one's right there. Nice and convenient. Strength lever here. There's going to be Beholder after we fall through a hole. And then the portal is to the end fight. So this is the part in which you want to equip your stone shoes if you got them. Okay? Otherwise, the giant can toss you off the mountain. It's just an attack he has, like a lightning attack that just blows people up and shoots them really high and far out. If that happens, then try to do slash stuck right away. And if you have feather fall, you know, it'll take you a long time to fall all the way down the mountain, and you can actually slash stuck and complete that before hitting the ground if you're quick about it. But if you do get tossed off and you try to do slash stuck, make sure you don't move around. Because if you move around, it might not bring you back up to the top of the mountain. And slash stuck has like, what, an hour cooldown, so you only get to do that once. Otherwise, you're going to have to run all the way back up or wait for the D-doors at the bottom and take them back up here. So it's just going to be a small top of the mountain section. There's going to be a big floor tile puzzle. There's going to be the Storm Reaver, and there's going to be a Frost Flenser or something. And you can just kill the Frost Flenser. And then usually somebody will be assigned to doing the floor tile puzzle. You have to direct the light to these urns. Or, well, there's 3 runes. And when you direct the light to the rune, an urn will appear. And then you click on the urn to put the rune in there. And there's a different urn for each of the runes. They're not labeled. If you try to put the wrong one in the wrong urn, it'll just say you don't have, if you don't have that one, just say you don't have the rune for this urn or whatever. I know it's the urn on the left that is the one that is for the Alapar rune, and that's the one that's needed to kill him. So let's go ahead and step in. And I'll show you another little trick that, let's say you're in here, you don't have stone shoes. If you're right here along this wall where I am, if you get tossed, it tends to blow you straight up due to DDO physics instead of off the mountain. So I would definitely fight from this position if you didn't have stone shoes. And hopefully you just get blown straight up. Okay. Go ahead and try to kill the boss. And notice that he is unkillable. He will just keep regenerating. He's invincible at this point. As much DPS as we have compared to this level 12 boss, we cannot kill him. Because you must have the Alapar rune in the thing. So I'm going to go ahead and do the puzzle. And I'm going to do the whole puzzle. Just to demonstrate. But when we do Legendary, we're just going to do... We're just gonna do the one rune. Also, I think freedom of movement is helpful in the end fight. I think when he does his cloud or whatever, that can be slippery. Okay, notice that there's urns on all 3 of the runes now. There's urns on all 3 of the runes. You just click the urn, and it'll say the rune that you hold fits neatly into the thing. And it's telling you what it says. His power is diminished. All right, now that I put the Alapar rune in, he's killable. And done. Any questions about Heroic Tempest Spine before we move on to Legendary? The Legendary instance will go much faster. Because that was the full run. Now you know everything you need to know about Tempest Spine, pretty much. We're going to do R1 for Legendary. You'll get max favor for it. Don't forget to swap your boots back to your regular boots if needed. We're going to have some folks join us just to hang out. I offered it up to anybody since we're just doing a quick shortcut run and the teaching is all done already. There's nothing more to teach. We're just going to be demonstrating the shortcut method. Welcome, Tanya. Anybody else wants to join, just send me a tell. We can go ahead and start because they know how to catch us. Welcome. We'll just take the low road this time so you can feel what legendary R1 lava feels like. And that way you'll know whether or not that's something that you need to be worried about. Again, there's no more teaching that needs to be done. We went over everything in the heroic instance. This is just a walkthrough of the shortcut method. This is a 10-year-old raid. So, as I mentioned, before the event, these mobs don't hit like modern mobs. This was made before, artifacts and sentient weapons and modern gear sets, and the level cap was only 30. This is 10 years old. And because of that, legendary normal Tempest Spine is very soloable, and that's important to know if you're a soloer, because if you're a soloer, you might not think...
Did we lose hands like feet?
You're gonna, you might think that there's no path for you to get legendary threads, to get threads of fate. Here he comes. And some of these older legendary raids are actually very soloable. Don't disable it yet. Don't disable. Go ahead and walk through these traps. I want you to see how hard they hit on R1, so that you can know whether or not you can survive them. They don't hit that hard. Because there might be times you come in here without a trapper, and you might need to know that you can walk through, run through those safely. Go ahead and get the trap if you want to. Oh, no lockout for this raid, so people can join at any time. Okay, we're going to make a left at the intersection. This is the intelligence rune, and it requires a 50 intelligence. So, hand like feet, if you would, please. Thank you. Soft lockout here, just a reminder, until the Iron Golem is defeated. Okay, we got to go to the lair of fire and ice because this is where we're going to get the Alapar rune. As soon as the renders are dead, go through the portal. Okay, we're going to demonstrate how to solo it. Remember I showed you how to, we split before. We're going to show you how to solo it this time. So please stay right here, okay? So what I'm going to do is, I guess if you're new, you can follow me if you want to. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the Frost Flenser back down to where you guys are. If you were soloing and you tried to kill them both where they spawn, you probably wouldn't have enough time, I guess, unless you were super, super fast. So I'm going to go up and I'm going to grab the Ice Flenser and just drag them back down. So I've already got them, and I'm running back. Careful, there's lots of mobs. And if you wanted to, you could actually drag them all the way down to the fire guy, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to wait till he gets here and kill him when he gets here, but don't... Plague Reaper. Okay, I see the Ice Flenser. He's almost here. Feel free to range him as he's coming here. So here's the Ice Flenser. We can go ahead and kill him here. And that's going to give us enough time. Now we're going to immediately go down to fire. Remember, don't range fire from across the bridge because he'll run out the left side. Wait till you get across the bridge before ranging him. Okay, fire's dead. That was within the kill window, so we're good to go. That's how you're going to solo this part if you need to. You just drag the frost or the ice flenser down to the intersection, or even further if you want to. Like I said, you could have dragged them all the way down here if you wanted to. At this point, just drag any remaining trash up to the chests, and we'll just kill them at that intersection. Help yourself to the chest, and this is where we're going to pick up the Alapar rune. Any one of the new folks want to go ahead and grab the rune and do the puzzle at the end? If you're feeling puzzly, feel free. If not, I'll just do it again. Okay, it looks like Anadir grabbed it. You're going to be our puzzle guy. Straight out the way we came. Okay, now we're going to go to the right. Down in a hole. Losing my soul. That was Alice in Chains. Thank you. Alright, this is where our path diverges from the heroic. Here is where the shortcut differs. We're just going to jump over the edge. Make sure you don't bounce off the top of the mountain, because DDO physics will send you flying. Just basically fall straight down to the next opening. And go in the cave. So this captain guy will try to run up and pull that lever and lock you out. You'll need a 75 strength. If you're quick, you can actually kill him before he closes that gate. But if you have a 75 strength, it doesn't matter. 75 on legendary, elite, or higher. Okay, here's another strength lever. This is the room where there's lots of rusties. As soon as the giant's dead, the gate on the far side will open, and you can just keep going. You don't need to kill everything in this room. So just go past it, drag any trash with you to the next intersection. Another strength lever. Okay, and now we're going to the end fight. That's how quick you can get to the end fight. Beholder. Equipping spell absorption will block the anti-magic aura from debuffing you when you're near a Beholder. And just go straight into the end fight. Anadir, go ahead and direct the floor tile puzzle to the left urn. You only have to do it to the left rune, and that's it. Because we're only doing the Alapar rune. Equip your stone shoes if you got them. Once you get it there, just click on the urn because you have the rune. Perfect. We can now kill Sorjek. He'd be easier to kill. He hurts, doesn't he? If you're new, I recommend getting in front of him and getting hit by him because he does hurt. And it's good for you to see how hard he's hitting on Legendary R1. Maybe I'll stick to healing. Remember, if you get blown off the mountain, don't move and type /stuck. Great job, guys. Anybody has any questions about any parts of Heroic or Legendary Tempest Spine, let me know. High Lords, thanks so much for helping out. And Gijo, thanks for simulcasting. That concludes today's teaching raid event. If you think of questions after the fact, you know where to find me on DDO stream for the next hour. Heroic and Legendary Tempest Spine. You can too.